Thank you, everyone, for hopping on and tuning in with Mindset Millionaire Mitchie. It's truly an honor to be here. I'm truly grateful. And most importantly, I want to thank God for giving me this brand new day to be able to show and be up here for you guys. I'm truly blessed and highly favored. I hope that you guys are all doing fantastic and that you guys are still pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself. And today's topic is about growth, right? And I want to let you guys know that growth is uncomfortable, right? Because you have never been there. So we don't know anything, right? Because we don't know how it is. We don't know how it will turn out to be. We don't know nothing, right? So when you focus on the good gets better. Why? Because let's say you focus on God, goals, growing and glowing, you start to look different. You start to act different, right? So when you focus on the good will attract. They always say that attract what you be, attract who you want to become. So that's why we always have to focus on the good, even in the midst of being challenged, right? Because we don't want to lose ourselves in the midst of being challenged and walking through the storm, right? Because everything is to involve us and to change us for the better, right? Growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong, right? Push yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. So in the moment that you find uncertainty with yourself, that's when you have to push yourself even more so that you could go and grow to the person that you're meant to be, right? Remember, you are your own responsibilities. Let's not think about this or that person that should be there supposed to push us. We're supposed to push ourselves, right? Because we are our own responsible. We are responsible for our life, right? So you are responsible for giving yourself the life that you want. You could get the life, you could ask and manifest the life that you want. It all starts with you, right? So you don't have to solve your whole life overnight. It's not meant to work that way, right? You don't have to feel ashamed for being where you are either, right? You have to focus on the small things you could do today to get closer to where you want to be. It's just really that, right? So that's how we could be able to grow to where we want to go if we just focus on one small thing each day, right? Slowly and lightly, one step at a time, you can and will get there, right? Because you're putting in the effort to see that growth come true, right? So remember, some things has to end for in order for better things to begin. So we have to let go of old paradigm. We have to let go of old behavior. We have to let go of old belief, right? In order for us to get to where we want to be, right? We cannot want growth and stay in the same box that we grew on. We have to get out of that comfort zone so that we could be able to nourish to the person that we are meant to be, right? Starve your distraction and feed your focus. I'm pretty sure you all have heard your mentor say that, right? Starve your distractions and feed your focus. Why? Because the distractions is there to not allow us to get to where we want to be. Every time you find yourself distracted, remind yourself, this is not where I'm meant to be. I don't want to stay stuck in a place that I'm not meant to stay, right? So I have the choice. I have the responsibility to take one step at a time to move forward to where I want to go, right? I cannot put that pressure or help or support on people. I got to put it on myself. So feed your focus on you, right? Focus on good and good things will appear, right? Focus on your growth, right? In order to grow, we need to change. We need to change. I know it's good to be comfortable, but good things don't come from comforts, right? So growth and change can be scary. I'm not going to say that it's not. It can be, but it's yet beautiful because it's how you look at it, right? To live better, you need to get better. To heal yourself from any limitations you have in your mind. Detach yourself from negativities, doubt, anxiety, and focus on the positive side. We might go through things in life, but let's focus on the positive. It's so easy to switch our perspective so fast from a negative to a positive, right? Life is too short to not enjoy and heal yourself. We have to think like that every single day. Like, damn, I need to enjoy and heal myself and be happy and look at the bright sides of things and not the negative, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't think like that, you're going to stay on the negative frequency. You're going to stay doubting yourself. You're going to stay in anxiety state of mind. So I want to be able to push you to grow to the person that you're meant to be, right? So start somewhere. Just start. You heal in time. Time heals everything. Tomorrow will be better. Always remember that. Tomorrow will be better. I know that today was not as great, but tomorrow will be better, right? Everything happens for a reason. So like I said in my last call, because all my calls would have something following everything else, right? So last call I was speaking about life is about figuring out what works for you. So what works for A doesn't work for B. So that's why we have to separate ourselves. This person heal faster doesn't mean I'm gonna heal faster. So everything takes time. I want you guys to remember that. Growth takes time, right? In order to change and grow to the person that you see yourself to be, just know that it takes time, right? But change the way you feel, change the way you think, right? Because I want to be able to shift your perspective, as in, how can I have a growth mindset mentality? As in, frame your challenges as opportunities. Look for the good in every situation. Seek feedback from people that you respect, not just from anybody, people that you respect, right? Keep the promises you make to yourself. Learn something new each day, right? Don't compare yourself to others. Be proud of who you are. That is very important in the growth journey. Be proud of who you are and be proud of where you're going, right? So don't be hard on don't do the hard things first. Don't be hard on yourself either, right? Don't overwhelm yourself. But if you could do the hard things first, do it so that you could do the easiest thing second, right? Don't do it the easy way that we so used to doing. Easy and then hard. Challenge yourself. Make yourself grow to be like, I'm gonna start with the hard thing and then I'm gonna go to the easy, so that you can find yourself be able to challenge. You'll be able to find yourself challenging things that you don't know how to use to do it before, and now you do. So everything in life is about finding out what works for you, right? Don't be envious, be productive. That is also another way to look at things, right? A growth mentality state of mind, right? I want to be able to share with you guys a growth mentality mindset self-talk, right? That you could tell yourself during the moments of difficulty, or moments that you're finding a challenges, right? I learned by trying new things, right? I focus on progress. I am ready to ask for help. I could get through anything. I am focused on myself and not on others. I will keep learning, right? Self-doubt kills dreams. It's okay not to know everything, and talent comes from practice. So these are things to tell yourself in the midst of it, right? Everything is not meant to be done all at once, right? Everything takes time, one step at a time. And I'm pretty sure that you will get there eventually, right? Self-growth is self-development, right? A continuous journey of try and error, right? This is how you get to understand who you really are, because you're taking the time to grow and understand yourself in the midst of your journey, in the midst of your challenge, right? So know that the process will test your strength, reveal your weaknesses, and empower you to put yourself finally first, because we don't do that. In order for us to grow, we have to put ourselves first and say, I think it's time that I focus on my growth for once. I focus on doing something different in my life, right? Keep going, right? Because no matter what, you gotta continue to do this for the best version of yourself. You can't expect people to do that for you. You can't expect people to push you if you don't push yourself. You can't expect people to become financially free for you to become financially free. No, you have to do that first. You have to go and keep going until you get there, right? Keep going no matter what, right? Dive deep into answering the questions that you refuse to answer, no matter how bad it hurts. Find yourself in a quiet moment and answering questions that you refuse to answer because the answer hurts. When you embrace that, you know how to deal with yourself, right? You have to figure out yourself before anything, right? Be honest and be open and less critical of yourself. You guys probably are too harsh on yourself. Be more open, be honest, be kind, love yourself like you would treat people, right? This is a way that you could be able to grow, right? Because we don't grow from doing the same things that we're so used to doing, right? We are just harming ourselves, right? So we have to continue to be open-minded with ourselves. You have to be honest with yourself than you are honest with other people, because we tend to lie ourselves and not realize the things that we see because we don't want to accept it, right? You deserve respect and understanding in the process of self-discovery. So be nice and be kind, but also don't be too soft with yourself. Don't make don't make excuses for yourself. Push yourself in the midst of all of this, right? And today, I hope that this reminds you guys, right, to help you, right, know that we are all in this together on our journey of self-discovery and growth. But everyone, growth looks different. I want you guys to just know that every single one of our journey is different, but we all in this together because we all want to grow and change and discover ourselves. So continue to show up your authentic self as you, right? Follow what feels right and good for your soul. And the only reason why you're saying that is hard is because of what you're telling yourself. If you find yourself that you can't push yourself or you can't do certain things because of your self-talk, reflect on that. Make sure that you on top of how you talk to yourself. Because if the way that you talk to yourself is what's going to determine what you're going to do or whether you're doing it or not, your action depends on the self-talk that you do with yourself. And if your self-talk is not as high, right, your action is not going to be the same. So we have to continue to remind ourselves these things. All right, I want to grow, but what am I telling myself? If I'm giving myself positive self-talk or I'm giving myself negative self-talk, right? So you gotta follow what feels good for your soul. You need to know what's good for you. You need to know that. Nobody else is gonna know that for you but you. This is how you get to discover yourself and you get to grow in the journey of self-discovery, right? But this all will lead, right, to this beautiful life you're dreaming about. Just think about it. Every single day you add up all these things that you're doing, the small things, and giving your effort every single time. Eventually, you're going to continue to live the life that you dream of. And I want you guys to really find peace in yourself and not on things that we want, because everything is temporary, but internal peace is forever, right? Are you willing to do the work needed to achieve your growth? I want to ask you guys that question. Are you willing to do the work needed to achieve your growth? Right? Because it's all about what you're telling yourself, right? Yes, we could be patient and wait for God to deliver everything that we deserve. But are you really putting in the work to achieve growth, to be able to receive what God has for us? Right? Because remember, we do not have what we want in life because we are not ready to receive it. So we have to be ready to receive it. In order for us to receive it, we have to grow from the old person that we was to the new version of ourselves, right? Have a burning desire to grow and expand, to be best and do best than you can at all time. This will help you nourish and it will help you grow to the person that you see yourself being, right? When you have that burning desire to grow and expand, don't give consistent to weak thoughts. Only entertain what's beneficial. Exactly. What you focus on will grow, right? Are you in charge of how you feel today? I want to ask you guys that. Are you in charge of how you feel today? If so, choose peace and happiness, right? Because that's going to lead you to growth. Choose positivity. Choose peace, love, and happiness. What you choose to focus on will grow, right? So remember that. The goal is to grow so strong on the inside that nothing or anyone that from the outside can affect your inner wellness without your conscious permission. Because you have the permission not to let things affect you, right? You have the permission to be happy. You have the permission to grow. You have the permission to be strong. You have that permission. But if you give your permission to others to dictate what to do in your life, you're going to live your life based on that person's decision and opinion instead of yourself. The goal is to grow so strong on the inside that nothing outside can affect you, because you don't give permission to that. Your inner wellness should be so important to you, right? Let your addiction for growth be stronger than your addiction for comfort. We so used to being on a comfort zone because that's what we so used to know. That's our old paradigm. And we're not going to change our paradigm so fast, but it's taking one step at a time, right? You're not going to be able to see the whole staircase if you don't take the first step. You have to take the first step in order to get to the top of the stairs. Because it's not like you're going to take the first step and then you're going to peek and be like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that. You have to do this and push yourself, right? Be addicted to the growth, right? We can't become what we want by remaining what we are, right? We can't become what we want if we remain the same, right? So growing is about being better than you were yesterday. Challenge yourself every single day and tell yourself that every single time. I'm going to be better than I was yesterday, right? And that's going to push you to want to grow. Growth is taking care of yourself. Growth is loving yourself, right? Growth is paying attention to every little single thing that you're dealing with and is like, okay, take this time to reflect. Take this time to eat. Take this time to work out. Take this time to feed your mind with positivity, right? It's about taking care of yourself. That's really what growth is about, taking care of yourself. Look something positive, and each day, even if some days you have to look a little harder, because not every single day is going to be the same, and it's not going to be as perfect as you think it is, but it's going to be the best because that's how you portray it, right? You look at the positive in every single thing, and you're going to be happy. You're going to be at peace. And that is way, way worth much more than anything else. But most importantly, enjoy the process of growing. Some small actions every day will lead to big results, right? Grow through what you go through. Give yourself time to grow, from a caterpillar to a butterfly, from a seed to a flower. Give yourself time to grow. Time heals everything. But you gotta put in the small action every single day to lead the big results. Just continue doing the small things. Focus on the small things every single day so that you could get there. And you're gonna get there because you're pushing yourself, you're seeking that, right? So somehow after everything, you still bloom in the way that you're meant to bloom, right? To that flower, to that beautiful butterfly. You're meant to still bloom. Don't think that just because someone is ahead 10 steps ahead of you, you can't move 10 steps either. Remember, every journey is different, but we're in the same journey to discover and grow. Do not portray, do not give your opinion if it's not positive on people that are also discovering themselves. If you're gonna be in someone's life, push them to be better, not to be the negative, not to do the negative, right? Because that's the whole point. You want to be surrounded with people that also have the same mentality as you, that want to grow to be the best version of themselves, right? Remember, man and woman were made in the image and likeness of God, the creator, right? Genesis 1, verse 26 says, God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that we may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, or over the creatures that moves along the ground. So God created us to be an image of him, of likenesses of him, right? God created us with confidence, joy, innocence, clarity, and love. All God characteristics, desires, and abilities are on display in each one of us. That's why we were born and we grew, right? His compassion, strength, wisdom, love, creativity, joy, and wonder are embedded in who we are. What do you think that all these things came from? All this confidence, all this joy, all this strength, all this wisdom came from his compassion, came from his characteristic, because we are a reflection of God, right? He empowered us with world-changing authority to entrust us with life-giving responsibilities, right? God made us to be his representative on earth, right? Instead of representing ourselves, let's present God. I want to challenge you guys to look at it in that perspective, because God is goodness, God is positivity, God is creation, God is love. So instead of focusing so much on me, let's continue to focus and grow on how can we be like God, so God could push us to where we are meant to go, right? Because sometimes when we focus on ourselves, we lose ourselves. So if we focus on how to be a reflection of God, we will move with such integrity and with such joy that now we know where we're going. We're growing through it. We're growing through the journey, right? Let's give our attention to God so that we could grow to the person he sees us to be, right? Our world needs people who are brave enough to drop our ego and recreate by Jesus again in the image of God, right? Our world needs people to be brave enough to let go of that ego and recreate Jesus in the image that he created us to be, a reflection of him. Heaven rejoices when you begin to look like Jesus in the way you live your life, right? You're responsible of your life. You're responsible of the life that you want, right? This is God's original intentions, making human in his image to be close to him in every moment. So the more you're closer to him, the more you act and you speak how he is, you're going to move with such love, peace, that you're not going to let no outside force, energy, people, or anything affect you internally, because you have inner wellness, right? Jesus surrendered his greatness so that we can embrace him, right? He let down his power so that we can close around him, because we were unable to see him in all his bright and glory, right? So he chose to lay aside his power so that we could know him personally once again. He asks us to follow his example, to do what he does, to be a reflection of his heart, words, and action on the earth today, right? He loves us so much, he willingly gave himself up so that we could have a better life, so that we could have a life, right? Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 1, it says, imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are his dear children. Psalm 119, verse 73 says, your hands made me and formed me. Now give me understanding to learn your commands. We learn and do and speak what God wants us to do we will eventually get to where we are destined to be. Right? So this is a way to shift your way to be like, I don't know how to grow. I don't know how to focus on my growth, but let me focus on God, on growing and glowing, and on goals, right? Because if you want to make a true difference in this world, ones that matter forever, then today is a day to embrace God, recreating work in our life to become more and more like him. Right? You become more and more like him. You tend to live happier. You like he said, Jesus is the truth, the life, the beginning and the end. Right? You go to him, you seek him, you're going to get the truth. You're going to be set free. Right? Because that's what life is about. Setting yourself free from your thoughts, setting yourself free from where you live, setting yourself free from all this trauma that you have gone through, that you still battling with. Set yourself free. Right? Think about your favorite characteristic of God. Think of a way that you could put that same characteristic into practice today. Right? Who will others see reflected in you? Who will you represent today? So I hope you guys found this very powerful, in the sense that the more you seek to be reflected as him, the more you're going to grow to nourish to the way to the path that you're meant to go to. Right? Today, who would you reflect? Who would you represent? Who would people see you today as? Damn, she just reminds me how God really loves us. She reminds me that her word, her wisdom, and her love, God showing us the way. Things like this. I want to open your mind so wide to know that it's so powerful on the things that you can accomplish and you will do, right? And I want you guys to know that it all starts and ends with you, in the sense that if you push yourself every single day and you're fighting those battles, and you're telling yourself, I could do this, I can, and I will. But most importantly, you're giving them to the Lord, because he will help you. He will help you get out of that battle. Trust me. He will help you. But we would have to want to seek him. We will want to be a reflection of him, because that's why he created us. He created us so that we could be a reflection of him, so that we could be more like him. Right? Heaven is rejoicing because you started to look like Jesus, and you lived the life in the way that you live your life. So you have to think and remind yourself, the world needs a brave me, and to drop my ego and recreate Jesus in the image of God. Right? And that will help you and push you to where you're meant to go. Right? I hope that you guys love this call. I hope that is very inspiring, and it pushes you guys to want to grow, because it has to start with you. You have to seek growth. You would want to nourish yourself, because I'm pretty sure that no one wants to stay the same as you was last year. You don't want to be in the same place that you was last year. So give yourself the chance to grow, right? And I want to give yourself this prayer, because I want to be able to push you to really find yourself and to really adore the Lord and give him praise, right? Because he is there with us whether we want it or not. He's pushing us whether we think about it or not. Just by breathing and just by opening our eyes, he's with us. Just by enjoying ourselves with our family and being around loved ones, he's with us. So I want you guys to know that on your journey on growth, you're not alone. You're not alone. And he is pushing you every single moment to get closer to the person that he saw and he's seeing, and he will make it happen, right? So it says like this: God, all glory and honor, praise belong to you alone. You are worthy of all my adoration. You alone formed the world and call what you created good. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for creating me in your likeness. Today, I just want to worship you. Let my life be for you and your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. I hope that you guys found this very powerful and very uplifting. I hope that you guys continue to seek the Lord and be a reflection of Him, and find characteristics, right? Find your favorite characteristic that you could put into practice today, that you could help someone for tomorrow, right? That is what really life is about, right? Finding yourself, self development, and help others along the way, because this is all to be a reflection of God, to be like Him, to be good, to be happy, to be at peace, right? This is all meant to be, right? And I hope that you guys have a fantastic Saturday. I see you next Saturday. I appreciate and love you guys so much. I love you so much for continuing supporting and listening to me. And I hope that I can continue to inspire you guys to be the best version of yourself. I love you guys. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye, guys. I see you guys.